Today, I want to talk to you about something that many high achieving Christian entrepreneurs wrestle with, and that is, should I tone it down? Should I soften my faith language? Should I separate my business from my beliefs? Let me give you a picture. The pink flamingo is not sorry he's pink. He does not apologize to the blues and greens of the landscape because his color stands out. He doesn't slink around and keep himself to the shadows because predators might see him. He doesn't coat his colorful feathers in the mud just to blend in with the other birds in his habitat. The flamingo lives in the open, in plain sight, in large numbers, fully pink and fully at peace with his design. The pink color comes from what he consumes. It's part of how God made him. So here's the question for you. Why are you apologizing for what God designed into you? Why are you hiding your talents and abilities to create change for others? Why are you comparing yourself and limiting yourself, imitating others who have a completely different makeup and assignment? Psalm 25:20 says, "Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed because I put my trust in you." Not ashamed. That doesn't mean obnoxious, forceful, preachy, but it does mean unashamed. Someone once told me that I should keep the God talk out of my business, that I should keep my faith private, they said. They wanted to impose their beliefs on me, saying it was more professional to separate faith from business. But that's like trying to separate the yellow color from an egg yolk. It simply can't be done. Your faith shapes your integrity. It shapes your ethics and your decisions and your resilience. If you remove faith, you've removed the core of who you are. You are not what you do. You are what you believe. 2 Timothy 1:8 says, "Do not be ashamed of the testimony of our Lord." Romans 1:16 says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes." Notice what Paul did not say there. He didn't say be reckless. He didn't say ignore wisdom. He did not say provoke conflict. He said don't be ashamed. In Matthew 10:16, Jesus says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Wise, harmless, present. Isaiah 42:6 says, "God has given us to be a light for the Gentiles, the unbelieving." When I work with clients who are scaling high-level events or building powerful brands, we often have this conversation privately. They will say things like, "I don't want to alienate anyone with my faith," or "I don't want to lose out on opportunities. I don't want to make investors or clients uncomfortable." And here's what I gently ask them. Are you trying to be brown in a world where God made you pink? Because when you hide your faith completely, you might gain short-term comfort, but you lose long-term congruence. And incongruence drains your power. When you start filtering your sentences, monitoring your words, you start living in quiet tension that becomes exhausting. Let me be clear. There's no need to cram the pink crustacean diet of the word down people's throats, especially if they're not ready for it. Jesus never forced people, but he was never ashamed. There's a big difference between force and fear. And many people believe that hiding their fear behind a self-righteous pretext of not wanting to offend, right? Living your faith sincerely may make you a target. History shows that it's happened before. Following Jesus openly in the marketplace can make you feel uncomfortable sometimes, just like the pink bird standing in a crocodile-infested river might feel a little bit exposed. But here's the beauty of God's design for you and for the flamingo. Flamingos can run on the water. They can lift off. They can fly away. They have almost no predators at all because of this ability. God didn't just give them color. He gave them a way of escape. And your faith makes you stand out, but God also equips you to stand firm and to fly. You are not vulnerable because you are obedient. You are positioned, my friend. This business that he's put in your hands is a positioning place for the power of the gospel through you, whether or not your work or service is explicitly faith-based. And as I shared in my book, Faith Like Flamingos, here's what I've seen over and over again. When a leader stops apologizing for their faith and just lives it with integrity and kindness and wisdom, something powerful happens. Those leaders attract alignment. The right clients feel safe with them. The right partners start to lean in. The right team members trust them more deeply and step up because authenticity carries weight. Walking unashamed doesn't mean shouting it from the rooftops. It means consistency between your inside and your outside. It means the same God you worship privately shapes the way you negotiate contracts and treat employees and serve clients and respond to conflict. It means that when someone notices your peace, you don't hide the source. You just tell them, it's Christ in me. You don't have to be louder. You don't have to be obnoxious. You just have to be real. And if you've been shrinking lately or dimming your pink to blend into someone else's landscape, I want you to hear this. Walking with God and unashamedly doing what He created you to do puts you in the safest place you could possibly be. God has overcome the world. You're not exposed. You're on assignment. And if this conversation resonates with you, if you want to be in a community with other high-achieving Christian leaders who refuse to separate faith from excellence, explore my Doing Business with God program. There's a link below with dates and registration info, or you can pick up the book, Faith Like Flamingos, as well. You don't need to apologize for being pink, for being who God created you to do, for having the talents and gifts that He gave you. Be wise, be harmless, be kind, but be pink and not sorry. Be fully who He designed you to be. I'm Katie Hornor, and I'll see you next time.